Hello, everyone. I'm Keren with Club+Resort Business. Well, it is the holiday season, and I thought it would be fun to review some books that I had done as unboxings earlier this year, just as perhaps suggestions for a gift for the golf lover, history lover, or pickleball lover in your life. So first of all, again, these were all books that I did unboxings on throughout the year. The first one is How He Played the Game by John Riley. It's a story of Ed Porky Oliver, a professional golfer in the 1940s and 50s. He won 8 PGA Tour events. He also served the U.S. Army during World War II and was part of a generation of golfers who made it through the Great Depression, served in World War II, and then returned home to build the modern professional golf tour. So he competed against some of the game's greats, Sam Snead, Byron Nelson, Ben Hogan. Looks like a very, very interesting book. I confess I have not read the book yet. I've read portions of it, but not read it cover to cover yet. Looks like a great history. It's definitely worth checking out. The book is printed by Riley Publications, and you can learn more about it by visiting olivergolfbook.com. So that's one. Another history book, if you will. This one is called The Long Golden Afternoon. Golf's Age of Glory, 1864 to 1914. We're looking at the rise of golf in Scotland. We're following the rise of golf in Scotland that comes right after the rise of young Tom Morris. And it begins actually with the victory by John Ball at Prestwick in 1890. He was the first Englishman and the first amateur to win the Open Championship, the British Open Championship, if you will. The story also goes on through World War I, and it talks a lot about how golf sort of came of age in this era, if you will, mid to late 19th century and then early 20th century. Invention of revolutionary golf clubs and golf balls, the emergence of professional tours, as I was mentioning a moment ago, the organization of the game and its rules and everything, really the renaissance in writing and thinking about golf. Looks like a pretty deep history of the game of golf. So if you really love the game itself and the history and want to know more about its roots, this one would be a great one to check out, The Long Golden Afternoon. It's from Casemate Publishers. Publisher in the book is listed as Arena Sport. I know this, and actually probably all the titles I'm talking about here today can be found through Amazon.com as well. Another book to share. This one's a lot of fun. I did have it, as you can see, it's short. I did have a chance to read it. This book is Fairways, Greens, Lost Balls, and Bad Lies by David Cottrell. He shares sort of some, humorous stories about playing golf with his friends. He has sort of the same group of friends he's played golf with for a long time. Book is from the Cornerstone Leadership Institute. And as the press release on the book had said, golf is more than a game. It is about relationships, sharing experiences, and enjoying life with friends. Stories from a round of golf are remembered long after golf scores are forgotten. In some cases, that's a good thing, right? It's always good, of course, to have the fun memories of playing with friends. That's always good to remember those. But it's good to sometimes forget some of those rough rounds. But of course, it's made up for through the friendships that are built. This book was a lot of fun, just a collection of stories from Mr. Cottrell. I imagine any longtime golfer, especially if you're a longtime golfer who's played with sort of a certain group of people for a long time, has probably also accumulated a lot of stories like Mr. Cottrell shares here. David is also the author of more than 25 books, including Monday Morning Leadership. This book, you can learn more about it by visiting cornerstoneleadership.com. And lastly, but certainly not least, kind of a combination. We have a history and some fun here with this. Pickleball for All, Everything But the Kitchen Sink by Rachel Simon. She's a New York Times writer. Rachel reviews the history, rules, strategies, and future of the fastest growing sport in America. As we've talked about before, pickleball has been huge during the pandemic. And interestingly enough, in this book, I have not read this book entirely. I did read the first couple chapters. Rachel Simon shares that she came to the game through the pandemic. She and her then boyfriend, now husband, were, spending time like a lot of the rest of us in spring of 2020, not having a whole lot to do, if you will, besides work. There were so many times you can take a walk in the park or watch a show or, I don't know, play some board games or card games, if you will. So it changed, though, when her husband's parents bought them a pickleball set, paddles, the balls, the whole 9 yards. And they started playing. They had fun. They started inviting some friends. They formed other friendships through it. This book's a lot of fun because you don't need to know anything about pickleball to enjoy it. Doesn't assume any previous knowledge because she also talks all about rules and strategies in the game itself. Also shares stories from other pickleball enthusiasts. So a lot of fun. If you know somebody in your life, a friend, family member who enjoys pickleball, they will definitely enjoy this book a lot. Or if you know somebody who's just curious, like myself, kind of curious about pickleball, but don't know a lot about it yet, this is another great way to enter into that, if you will. You can learn more about this book by visiting harpercollins.com. This book actually was published by Day Street, which is an imprint of William Morrow, and William Morrow is actually an imprint of HarperCollins. So again, harpercollins.com to check this book out. So all great book ideas to get for someone in your life here as we are in this holiday shopping season. Before you check those books out, though, as always, do me a favor, hit the like button here below, subscribe to our channel, and of course, we will continue, as always, as we head into the new year, share with you items for Pro Shop, food and beverage, for course maintenance, if you will, court maintenance too, I guess, while we're at it, since we were just talking about pickleball, all those types of things. Check them out as always. Until then, take care, stay well, and happy holidays.